Hello and welcome back to another week in the life. So if you're new here, my name's Jess, I'm a wedding florist and I like to share weeks in my life of me running my own business, working for other wonderful suppliers, lots and lots of videos for my cute dog Maisie, and a little bit of behind the scenes of what my life's like running around doing all of these things and trying to enjoy a busy wedding season.
Good morning! So last month I did a day in the life, which I loved filming but was a little bit short, especially since I didn't get to actually film much of me doing. So this week I was going to do just another day in the life at one of my favourite venues that we're going to tomorrow, but I thought let's do a week in the life. It's now the end of May and in the next week I'm helping with 4 different weddings and I have one of my own as well. It's a collection wedding for my business, so it is a little bit, I don't have to go to site, they'll come to me to get the flowers, but I thought it would be a fun mix of different styles, different people I'm working with. And today we are starting with prep day, so it is now Thursday, so I'm going to take you all the way through to next Friday, but let's show you what we're going to be working on for tomorrow at Kin House, which is one of my favourite venues. So these are the flowers that have already been prepped. As you can see, some of the most beautiful colours. Look at these foxgloves. Absolutely stunning, loads of greenery. In here we've got hydrangeas ready for me to condition. These ones came in, look how small they are. These were literally, this is £30 worth of stems. They're literally tiny, that's my hand. Anyway, so that's upsetting. This is why your wedding flowers cost so much. I've then got these crates to condition. Look how beautiful the light is in here today. The barn, oh, stunning. And then through here, I've got the buckets I'm going to put them in. We've got loads of extra, and these things are what we're going to be making tomorrow. We're doing a ceiling install, and I literally can't wait. So let's get to it. Hydrangeas, I've taken them out of all of their packaging, and now I thought it'd be interesting to see what we have to do with these. So you chop them diagonal like you would most flowers, and then you're going to chop up the stem like this. This just helps it drink in extra because they actually drink in through their heads. So if they're then still looking a little bit like they need hydrating like this, you can also dunk them face down into the water. And worst case scenario, if they're looking really shriveled, bear with me, it works, we did it yesterday. You can put them in boiling water, and the boiling water, the steam basically gets all of the air bubbles that are trapped and not letting the water get to the head. They come out and then it can actually drink. So, little lesson for you. Quick stop for a cup of tea, but everything is coming along. Look at the weather outside, and that's such a picture window. And then here's everything. It probably doesn't look as much when I'm filming it from over there, but it's looking so full. Still some to go. Literally sunbathing the peonies. So this is how peonies come in, like little bullets there, round headed like this, and then you've got to put them in the sun for just enough time that they open but are not fully open. So this is here. I'll try and insert a clip of them open if I remember. So I realised I was nearly done, so I'm going to have my cup of tea in a second. I was going to step outside because the wonderful thing about this barn is you get to look out at all the gorgeous countryside and the sunshine, but it's really cool in here. So I was going to go and stand outside and just have a moment in the sun to like defrost a little bit. And of course the sun's gone in, but my final things to put in some water, I'm going to put them in here, is the sweet peas. These are my favourite flower. I actually have this exact colour coming in for the wedding I'm doing next week because lilac is her favourite colour, and she has a lilac silk ribbon that I've bought for her, so I'm really excited. But yeah, this is how they come. They come in like a special gel to keep them all nice. Oh my god, I've just remembered one of my self-seeding sweet peas at home had a really long stem like this. This is the only usable way because most of my stems at home are about this short. So they're good for bud vases but nothing else. And these are really long, and I was going to bring in my really long white one that's grown, but here we are. So these are all lilacs, and then it looks like there is a mixed, so look, there's pinks, there's dark purples, whites, and then this isn't lilac, but it's like a different purple. But then look at this one in here, it's almost like a mixed white and pink. Anyway, just my absolute faves, I had to show you. Look, and look, the sun's back out. So I've just run outside with my cup of tea. Look, I'm waiting for that cloud to literally move and then I'll be in the sun. I just needed a 2-minute sit. I'm going to basically be out here for the length of, it's happened. Oh my god, my tea looks so cute on the grass as well. For the length it takes me to eat one of these. I did yesterday, isn't that so bad? Basically, it's my period week, and thank god it's hit this week and not next week when I actually have the full weddings on my own. So we'll take it. But yeah, let me show you my tea among the daisies. Another amazing thing when you're helping someone else with their flowers is you haven't done the ordering. So I thought this was another box of hydrangeas, and then I audibly gasped when I opened it because it's so beautiful. Honestly, I will never get over the flowers because we work seasonally and they change. Some of my favourites have started to go out for spring already and I'm so sad about it. But it means that then when they come back in, you're like, yes, but this, gorgeous. Are we ready? Look at these orchids. Good morning. We are off to Kin House today, which is one of my favourite venues. I absolutely love it, so I can't wait to show you. We're in the studio all day making because we can't get in until 3, and then we're going to go there and make a ceiling installation. I'm so excited. Look at this also. This is hilarious. You can't see. I've got my electrolytes and my protein powder. Am I a pro athlete or am I a wedding supplier? Middle. Oh, Maisie. There you go, darling. Anyway, so I'll bring you along. See you soon. The morning, the little lamb here in the field. Let's get to the studio. Gemma bought me a Boost. It's literally my favourite chocolate bar ever. What off for lunch? Look at these babies. So this is Kin House. Look at these gardens. Detail. And then look at this bar area, like I can't even. And then over here, just everything is so beautiful. They're setting up a stage at the moment, I'm not sure what for, but yeah, just it's honestly the most beautiful place ever. Like, look at the details. These are velvet curtains with this beautiful pelmet, and then the lovely tiles, beautiful lamps. This is literally made from like marble, and then the floor, so you'd have your bar here, that's like the rest of the house, so stunning. And then here is like the private terrace, and then you go into here for your area, and we're doing a full ceiling install. So once you walk away from the house, there's the gardens. So some people get married here, which is so beautiful, or if you come through here through the walled garden, I'll show you in a sec. I don't know if you can see, but there's literally the rolling hills behind. Or you come through here to the garden house, and over there is the garden room where we'll be setting up. And then out here, gorgeous walled garden. Yeah, so that's the garden room, I'll show you in a sec, but then if you look back over there, that's towards the house. This is the ceremony space. Like, this is the bathroom. Why is it so nice here? And then the men have like blue wallpaper, and then the women's, look, shell light, stunning. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. guys, so it's now the next day. It is Saturday. Let's start with the negative. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. I got home at 8:15. We started yesterday at 8:30 and I just was so tired. I barely ate anything and tried to get to bed as soon as I could. And then I woke up in the middle of the night starving. Was awake for like an hour. So I've not had a lot of sleep. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. I'm still not hungry. So now I'm confused. But it's day 2 of the same wedding. Obviously you saw us doing the ceiling installation, but the team that are the planner team are going to be finishing off the draping across the ceiling and putting them in place. So it's going to be amazing when we go in this morning, because bless them, they had to stay and we got to go. But I've got to be quick because Gemma is coming. However, what I will say about yesterday, I love Kin House. It is my favourite venue. Like, I would get married there in a heartbeat if I had the money. But it was really oh my god, I love my job. I'm so privileged to do this. The guests kept coming by and seeing what we were doing and being so giddy and excited. We got to walk around the grounds in the sun. It was so pretty. And the team at the end gave us a glass of fizz, which I would never normally accept, but we were on our final hanging sphere. Gemma was bringing me back here. She was driving because it was easier than going all the way back to the studio and then back here because it was late. So that was so nice, and it just really felt lovely and like a proper, like, because all the guests, and the guests were some of the best dressed guests I've ever seen. Like, gorgeous red long dresses with a gingham block heel. We even spotted like a little leopard print ballerina pump, and we were laughing, me and Melissa, because we were like, they could think we're like talking about them, judging them, and we're just stood here complimenting all of their outfits. Honestly, I was like, whatever the dress code was, I want to know it because I want to put it on every party invite ever. I think they were just very our style and I was obsessed. Anyway, gotta get on because Gemma's coming soon and I've got to eat something before I go today, and I'll bring you along. Sometimes I leave my dressing gown for her because she likes to lie on it, but like, so cute. I know everyone thinks their own dog is cute, but she's beautiful. I don't know if you can hear, but the weather's not as nice today. I still think it'll be lovely and they'll probably be able to be outside, but it's such a shame when it's been so nice for so many weeks leading up to. But this is the joy of this venue. It's beautiful inside and out. I'm off to get some balls and then we're going to make the ceremony. I'm being so nosy, but look, they're adding a pool. Can you see it through there? No, you literally can't see anything. Okay, these are the current scenes. Look at this, and then there are meadows all the way down the aisle, and here, beautiful. They've got tambourines. So we're all done, the ceiling, and then this is where the bride and groom are going to sit. So pretty. Good morning. So it's now Sunday. I don't know what has happened, but Maisie's clearly feeling a bit needy because look, that's the entire sofa. Look how close she is. Like, she's just in that nook of my leg. You okay, baby? She's also getting a haircut this week, so this is a great week, so you'll actually see her face. Look how sad she looks. Her eyebrows, when they grow out, just make her look permanently sad. So today we're at Orchardleigh, which is near Frome. I'm there a lot with Holly, she works there a lot. But today we're doing flowers on the outside of a church, which I'm really excited about, because actually I have a wedding where I'm going to be using the same mechanics but on a pergola. So very useful for me to see how it goes. I've just put my welly bobs outside though, because unfortunately the weather is a little bit turbulent. Of course it is, it's a bank holiday. I'm only gutted for the couples, because I'm like, it's been so glorious for so many weeks that you would be like, as if it's rained on my wedding day. But then like, it's been dry enough and sunny and warm enough that you could have like your drinks reception outside. So I think it's fine, but I've taken welly bobs and extra socks just in case it pours on us whilst we're doing the outdoor setup, because there's nothing worse than having wet feet and being there for another 10 hours. So let's get on with our day, and I'll hopefully be able to show you a bit more, but it's really hard to film because it's so go 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 on these event days, and things just happen that you don't expect, so you're always like, must like properly concentrate and get it done. You don't want to be dilly-dallying and then rushing at the last minute. So anyway, I'll take you along. See you soon. So down on the estate they've got this church, and look at this setting for it. So beautiful. So we are about to do flowers all around this arch, which is going to be so cute. This is before. So I'm just sat in the van. I've been running all the stuff back to the van because we've got to now drive around to the big house on the estate. It's honestly amazing, is this estate. We've literally had dog walkers and runners going past us because it's just massive, and the locals clearly come. So I'm just having a moment to breathe. There was not, as well as no water, there was not a toilet there, and I've needed the loo now for about 2 hours, so I'm delighted to go. I'm both thirsty and desperate for the loo, the worst combination. So now we're up in the main house in the ballroom, and I am going to do the mantelpiece. Good morning. So I didn't film much yesterday when I got home, because after the wedding I got home and Lewis's and Maisie's my dog, outfits for our wedding had arrived, and it was such a cute evening. It's obviously bank holiday Monday today, but I'm working, and literally Lewis asked the other day, he was like, do you have bank holiday Monday off? And I was like, yeah, I've got next weekend off. And he was like, no, it's on Monday. I was like, oops. Anyway, but it was so nice. We here she is, speak with the devil. Maisie tried hers on, and I only have phone clips, so I'll share a little bit now. Oh my god, Maisie. Next, and then we went upstairs and Lewis tried on all his different suits, and we ended up FaceTime his dad just to be like, which one fits, because I obviously know nothing about suits. We had a little beer, and it really felt like a little victory weekend, even though it was honestly about 2 hours. So this week, crazy week. I'm doing prep days and 2 weddings I'm helping with, and then I have one of my own. So I'm going to bring you along still. Let's do this. As a side note, we also then sat down and watched Clarkson's Farm, which is back season 4. I honestly could just watch that show on repeat. Like, just do the same things daily. Show me you cleaning the yard. Show me you going to check on the piggies. I just want more and more. We've already binged the first 4 episodes, and I think the next 4 come out on Friday, so I'll probably finish by Monday, which is absolutely devastating, but I'm enjoying that. So we had that and mint tea, and oh my god, it was a perfect evening. But I must get on, because today we are prepping for a wedding, which is tomorrow at Old Gore Barn by Yard Space. I haven't been here before, but I thought it was one of the Crips venues, and it's not, but it's like a barn where they've done like the Criddle style doors, which is my favourite kind of barn conversion. That's actually what I'm getting married in, is a barn with Criddle style doors. I was like, it's just modern enough we're just taking that rustic back a tiny little bit. And I think they're like ultra modern florals. So the difference between Gemma and Holly that I work a lot for, and obviously my style, is Gemma is ultra modern, like super colourful, structural, not a lot of greenery. Holly, I would say, is more classic. So yesterday we were using like lots of eucalyptus, quite short, like more like Bridgerton vibes. But she also is really good at adding like texture, so it takes away from the, it's more like modern floristry techniques but in more timeless palettes. And then for myself, I would say I love colour, so I'm kind of like, I'd fit in with your modern like scheme. I love colour, but I love to use like wispy, delicate English country garden flowers. So I try and use as much British as I can, only because to me it's really unique and interesting. A lot of the florists buy from the same wholesalers, so if I can buy from a British grower, I'm going to have something that's like really interesting and unique. But I love colour as well, so I just want it to be fluffy and romantic. I'm bringing those romance through my choice of stems, but it's still as colourful and packed full of your personality as you like. Anyway, little selves pitch done. Gotta go. Look at this girl. I can't wait for her to have a haircut. You're gonna be like, literally, she's a different dog. Hi. Yeah, I'm coming. Sorry, I was chatting. So I'm just helping make the bridal bouquets, bridesmaids even. Gonna put some, you see this gap here? I'll put some in there. Okay guys and gals, we need a little reality check here because it's Monday afternoon. I've come home from the prepping for tomorrow's wedding and de-rigging, and this is my list of things to do. I've not ticked one off. It's about 3 o'clock. I'm done today because I'm training for this 10k that I signed up for, and it's raining. I had the audacity to actually wash my hair yesterday, and I'm thinking it's going to be sweaty and rained on. I'm losing the will to live. I cannot go on anymore. I love my job, but today I'm very tired. Anyway, I have no option but to keep going on. I did this to myself. We power through. Hello. It's now a few hours later. I had a little bit of a spiral earlier. I had all those jobs to do and I started ticking them off, and then I was in the kitchen and I rang my mum. We had like a strange chat, so I was just like in a bad mood, and Nurse was like, "You all right?" And that's such a hard question to ask someone when they're like literally so much is going on, they're a bit overwhelmed. Anyway, I was in a bad mood then, and I thought, I can't go on a run like this because then when I'm tired I get a bit snappy. So I was like, I just need 5 minutes. I went and had a chat to my favourite bestie, ChatGPT. Is it GP? Anyway, we all know. And I'm so sad that that's who we talk to now. But like, they're free and much quicker than a therapist. So I had a little chat, did a some journal prompts just to like recenter myself, had a little cry. And then I went out on a run, and I'm so proud of myself. I signed up for a 10k because I do not do things that I know are good for me, and running just makes me calm and my brain happy, which my very physical job doesn't, which is honestly so annoying to me. But here we go. So I went out on my run, and now I'm going to take Maisie out, and my jobs are nearly done for the day, and then I'm going to quickly make myself some lunches, and then I'm going to treat myself to a bath and an early night, which is so silly and so simple. But I have one of my own weddings for my business this week, and I hate when I don't feel like 100% like so buzzed and like full of energy because I'm tired. But you know, the reality is I work for other people whilst working for myself. So sometimes it gets a little bit on top of you when you're all, I love my industry. It's so wonderful to see women. What my line of work, floristry, is predominantly women. It's wonderful to see women getting paid to be creative and do things they love. However, one thing that I don't think is a strength is I think we all tend to overcommit, and then that makes us stressed and tired. So when I've overcommitted and I'm then working for people who have also overcommitted, we all share our problems with each other, but it's just a lot of stress and people's emotions to carry alongside everything. And I'm glad that I recentered myself and I treated myself to a run and I'll have a bath, because I deserve to enjoy doing this wedding, even though I'm really tired. But it will all be okay, and I'm allowed to be a bit overwhelmed and tired at times, and yeah, that's just where I'm at today. But I'm going to go and walk my dog so that I can still make sure I have a bath and an early night. But yeah, if I don't see you later, I will see you tomorrow for another wedding. I do love my job and I feel bad, but I think it's important to show that we're not just machines, and sometimes we do get tired even though we love what we do. So I'll see you later. Good morning. It's now Tuesday, wedding day. Hello, my gorgeous girl. I did actually get to sleep last night. I still don't feel like very refreshed, but my watch is telling me I was asleep for a good long amount of time, so that's good. Plus, I'm feeling much better today. I woke up to 2 5-star reviews from Emma from my last video. I don't know if you saw that. That was my wedding for my business that I did at the beginning of this month. So that was so special. Honestly, it means the world to me, but it really helps. So I'm literally delighted. So I need to get back to her later and say thank you. So yeah, let's do another day. Bridal drop off. Look at this Airbnb. That's the room they're getting ready in, and then look at the entrance. Just heading back to the van to get some ribbon because the bride has her own material she wanted to add, but we bought it just in case, which is good because she's just said, oh, I've only got it for mine, so always bring spares. This is Old Gore yard space. This is outside. That's the barn where the ceremony will be. And then here's the dining area where we're going to set up. So I'm back from the wedding, and luckily I was supposed to have a meeting that I was going to be late for, so I've moved that to 6 o'clock, and now I've got to start prepping for my own wedding that's happening this week. Not my wedding, for my business. I am also getting married this year. It's very confusing. So I've got to go and take all of the bud vases, the jars, fill everything with water, fill all my buckets ready with water, because in the morning I'm off to my wholesalers to get flowers to do all of the pre-prep. So I've already got all of the mechanics ready. That's the things that you need to get ready, like example, I've got my bouquet boxes ready to go, so I just need to fill the containers I've got in there with water, all of those kind of things, just to make my job as easy as possible. It's a collection wedding that I've got on Friday. Basically, I take on weddings where I go to the venue and I'll do everything for you. I'll make on site, I'll take things from A to B, but also if people want to have a few smaller things and they get in contact a little bit later, so a bit nearer the weddings, and I have availability, I'll do collection weddings, which is, so Fridays we have buttonholes, 3 bouquets, some bud vases, and then one bowl for the registrar table. So I can make that in a couple of hours around everything else that I'm normally doing, and they come and collect it from me, and then they have 3 days after the wedding to bring everything back. So works out well for me that I can take on extra projects, but also for them that they don't have to pay for the full florist works when they don't need that much. So I'm going to prep all my buckets, fill everything with water, have my meeting, and then I guess I will see you tomorrow on our way to our wholesaler. Good morning. Oh my god, I was up and so efficient this morning. I didn't even take you with me to go and pick up my flowers, so sorry about that, but I'll show you them in a second. So I woke Maisie up and she's getting a haircut today as well, so enjoy this fluffy face. Hi, are you going to show them that we can't see your eyes? No. Look. Before, I do an after later, but I will have a quick bit of breakfast now, and then I'm going to condition the flowers that I got this morning before I go and have a day in the studio with Holly, who I work for, because I'm helping make flowers for her wedding that I'm helping on tomorrow. And then this evening we're off to stop one of flower farms to pick up some local flowers as well. So I'm going to show you the flowers after I have a little bit of something to eat. The bin men are here, so we're just sat in the dark. So these are the sweet peas that I got because her favourite colour is lilac, and I panicked so hard because all I could see coming out of the box was these ones. I was like, this is not the right purple. But luckily we've got this, and then what else have we got going on? We've got some Achillea. These are Delphs. I actually got some like slightly smaller ones which were a bit more delicate, and these are actually more expensive and better, but not quite right for what I wanted. But they will look beautiful. I'll just have to hide them in a little bit more. We've got some peach lisianthus. These are a different type of lizzie. These are something like botanic, but they're a little bit more star-shaped and beautiful. Then we've got some yellow roses here, which was a request from the bride for some family members that have passed. And then some stocks, which are also sort of a peachy pink colour, and then these gorgeous scabiosa. These are called Vanilla Scoop, I think, which I just think is so cute. Oh my god, this angle with the sweet peas just there. These are one of my favourite flowers. All my favourite flowers are like really delicate wispy stems, so whenever it's sweet pea season I'm literally obsessed. I've actually got some really long stemmed white ones in the garden that I can also use for this wedding, so that's so exciting. So now I'm going to condition them, which is basically where you take the lower leaves off so that all of the water goes to the flowers and keeps them healthy and happy for as long as you need. I'm going to do that. I'm whispering a little bit because Lewis is sleeping. Okay, so I got a little bit of conditioning done. I don't know if you could see, but basically, let me show you with my Delph. So it had all of these bits on before, and now the stem looks like this. Bare stem, the flower still, which is so cute. I mean, this feels like a terrible one because it has a gap in it, but the rest are very beautiful. They actually swapped it in for a more expensive stem, so you would hope they're very beautiful. These are £2.50 a stem, so yeah, look at that. Lovely. But I am going to keep all these little wispy bits. I love the bits that come off delphiniums to then put in bud vases. I just think they're so pretty. So I'm going to put those all in a little jar, and then I had to switch tactics slightly, and everything that I didn't get around to doing stripping the leaves on, I've just cut diagonally at the bottom. They're all in water. I'm going to close these curtains down, make it nice and dark and cool in here, and then I will get back to them when I'm back later today. Okay, I pulled over just quickly because I thought, oh Christ, I'm going to do it again, where I just skipped to doing something else. So very busy day, got everything done, all prepped for tomorrow. Oh, turn down my aircon. Getting the car ready for the flowers because I've now driven to Bohemian Blooms. Lou, who is going to do me a bucket of British flowers. I'm really excited. I've been here once before. It's very wintry and I've been seeing everything she's been growing on Instagram and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then I'm going to go home, condition them, portion them out, and then relax, ready to do it all again tomorrow. Just a few flowers. I'm home, need to get the flowers out, but I thought let's quickly go and see Maisie and her haircut. Look at that little face. You look lovely, Moo. Oh, you're stressed. Hello, hello. You joined me on the mental health walk. Lewis took Maisie for a walk so that I could finish off doing what I needed to do today, and then there was like jobs in the house that needed doing, and I had been on the go. I stopped briefly to sit down to eat some lunch, but that is literally it since 6 o'clock this morning, and it's now 8 o'clock at night, and it had been such a nice day and I was so excited for our dog walk, and it's really become part of my like decompress routine too. So I was like a bit wound up and I was like, Jess, you're an adult, just so I sat down for 5 minutes before I did the kitchen, and then I've come out just to do a quick loop in the sun before I go wind down for the evening. So anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Let's do it all again. Good morning. Good morning on a Cavapoo blanket. But yeah, so the lighting's not terrible. Also the actual lols of this jigsaw that I started and has just been in pieces for months. Hi, it is now, god, I don't know what it is, Thursday. The number of times this week I've been like, oh, surely it's Thursday, it's Interior Design Masters, don't know if you watched that, and then it hasn't been, and now it's finally Thursday. Literally working straight through has just really confused me, and I've thought it's a different day all week, but it is Thursday. I don't know if you're getting as tired as me, just watching me constantly be like, good morning, it's another day, but we're nearly there, guys. I do have the weekend off. I do get myself in these situations. I am the only person to blame. But we're gonna go to a flower farm this morning. It's looking a bit overcast, but it was so hot yesterday. I honestly felt so privileged because it was such minging weather on Tuesday that I was like, oh, it's gonna be such a different experience making for this wedding, driving to all the flower farms in like the gorgeous countryside in like really disgusting weather. And then yesterday it was beautiful, and when the countryside around here, it was like Froome Way with the flower farm, and it just looks like the south of France. I'm literally like, oh my god. Anyway, so let's get on. I'll take you along with me. Let's spend the day. We've got flowers to make, we're doing a big wedding, we're coming back, we're making more flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. I hope you like flowers, or this channel's not for you. Just my dress trapped under the baby. I'm free. I'm off to the flower farm with my flower bucket, but Lewis always says that this dress makes me look like a milkmaid, and I've literally got this. I feel like I'm like old prairie on the farm. Oh my god, I literally cannot wait to get home and show you these flowers. Every single time I'm like, oh, so obviously using British flowers, better for the environment, better for the world, better for local business, but you do have to do a lot more like driving around, and like today I've had to get up extra early, drive somewhere special, but it's so worth it. I literally get here and I'm like, oh my god, it's like a kid in a candy shop. I get this bucket just full of absolute deliciousness. I'll show you briefly. So the bride's favourite colour is lilac, but if I ever get imported flowers, which sometimes I do to supplement the local ones, I never get lilac because they basically come, they could be either super purple or they come actually light blue. But look at these, so I can use these in the bridal. This one's called Orchardleigh, which I absolutely adore as well because it's just floaty and beautiful. And another of my favourite flowers, these ones are called corn cockle. I don't know what the actual Latin name is, but that's what they are. And then over here we've got loads of sweet peas, which you know is my favourite, with all the trails left on as well, which I just love. And then Icelandic poppies, can you see them down here? So flowers all conditioned and in a nice cool space. And now off to go to a place called Orchardleigh. I was here, I think, probably still in this vlog. And we're going to make a full moon gate. If you don't know what that is, stick around, we'll show you. And I'm so excited. And everything is now fully ready and prepped because basically the flower farm we went to yesterday, I'm going to drive past today, but I was like, no, I'm doing this so that everything is fully ready to go. So when I get back later, I can start making for tomorrow's wedding, which is perfect. In the car with a car full. Can you see I've got those? Boot full of green. I don't know if I showed you the venue the other day. This is the house. So we're nearly done, but I'm just going to come and check on the moon gate from a distance because apparently it looks tiny from over here, even though it's massive. There she is. Oh my god, it does look tiny from here, but I think it looks nice and balanced. Can you believe in this wind? Can you hear the wind? It's weighed down with like, I'd say maybe 30 to 40 kilograms of weight, and then guide roped back onto weights. Very boring wedding logistic, but if you are getting married outside, people always think of a wet weather plan. People don't think about what you're going to do if it's windy. So just have a little think on that, or discuss it with your florist. And now we're going to finish the meadows. So we put in all the shorter stems, and then everything that was taller that could break in the van, we're going to add on site. Okay, so this big structure is done. Then we've just been putting the meadows. We put them on the floor like this because you flower them from the front, and then quite often you can miss the ends. So we've just made sure that they're all covered with green or flowers. Oh my god, I've just left the venue and look, there's all duckies walking. Where are they going? So I'm back in the car, it's just past 2. This is the good thing about weddings, is that they often will finish, I mean Holly has let me go early because she knows I've got a wedding to do, but they do tend to finish early-ish. So I'm going to go home, start making for tomorrow's wedding. And did you just see the ducks? They were literally, I think they're going to go into the venue. That's so funny. I've literally worked here so many times, I've never seen that. But today was great, and I will see you soon. Good morning. Good morning. If you've made it to this point, well done. This has been a marathon, not a sprint. I feel like I reflect that. So I'm going to cut some sweet peas. So I did cut some of these yesterday, but these ones I want for the bridal, so I've done it as late as I can. Appreciate the behind the scenes of me trying to get an actual nice shot in the sunshine. So I'm actually waiting for the cloud to pass to get some sun, and this is my makeshift studio because there's no piece of blank wall. Lovely. All ready to go. I love when they're all together. Don't they look so nice? Probably hear the aircon because it's really hot in the car, but gotta cool it down for the bouquet because we're riding shotgun as always. You see it, it's very bright. There we go, focused in. Anyway, let's go meet them off to the collection point, and then we've just got to tidy and we're done. Very excited. Back, I'm done. Yeah, well, I'm not done. I need to clean, but generally, was there a bit of road rage on the way back from the drop off because of some lights, and this guy was beeping me, and then I was like, what, where do you want me to go? Because I couldn't turn, and then I thought, oh Christ, was that the family that I actually just dropped off with? So that's now what I'm thinking about, but other than that, I am relieved. And we're just gonna have a little cuddle. I'm gonna have a quick scroll on Instagram, and then I'm gonna get going. This current scene. Sit down was a big mistake. Huge. I don't actually know how I've propelled myself up to standing, but I must get on. But if I actually just forget to film anything, thank you for coming with me this week. I hope I conveyed that I love my job so much, but I don't condone anyone working this much, and I don't think I probably glamorised it, so I think that's probably fine. But yes, drop off went good, apart from the rage, and I'm still anxious and nervous. I didn't do anything bad. I just was like, what do you want me to do, mate? Like, I can't go anywhere. And now I'm like, what if I just like, they thought I was gesticulating at them. I don't think it was them. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm got to clean.